Hi, good evening and welcome to live coverage of the Kecoughtan Phoebus game from Darling Stadium in Hampton. I'm Tim Cole along with Bob Hitz, and we are getting set right now for the playing of our national anthem. The Phoebus High School Marching Band playing the national anthem as we get set for the game between Phoebus 5-1, Bill D's Charges with just one lone defeat, that at the hands of the Hampton Crabbers, and Kecoughtan led by Kurt Newsom. They are 4-2, 3-2 in the district, and they've lost to Hampton and Bethel. And Bob, this on paper appears to be one terrific matchup.
Oh, it always is, Tim. Every time Kecoughtan and Phoebus play, it is a very emotional game. Kurt Newsom coached over at Phoebus, so he's got some ties with Bill D. Since Bill's been over there. But what makes this game really exciting, Tim, is you have one team that has one loss, one team that has two losses. I don't think that you can get into the playoffs with two losses. I really don't, since we got all four Hampton schools in Division 5. Very important that Phoebus win all the remaining games to get a chance to make it to the playoffs.
Bob, I don't know if we're having some minor problems here. You or I do not have return sound in our headsets, so we'll struggle through this a bit until we get squared away. But we are coming to you live from Darling Stadium, the first effort to do so from the stadium here in Hampton. And as I said before, Kecoughtan and Phoebus, always a great matchup. These two teams have a great history of the rivalry. This year, it's been a tough start for Kecoughtan. They started off with just a 1-2 record and then have come on like gangbusters as they have outscored their opponents by the score of 88-22 over the last three games. So they've really come on strong.
Well, they really have, Tim, and they lost their quarterback. Young Roberts kid hurt a knee, and they brought in young Mr. Wright. Richard Wright, who is a senior, was a backup last year, and they haven't missed a beat. They have a tremendous running game in Damon Roberts and Chip Laws, and a great pass receiver in Macy Brooks. So they have a lot of weapons. This is not going to be a cakewalk for either one of these two teams. They're both going to have to play well. The team that does not turn the ball over, does not make mistakes, will probably win this ball game.
Right now, if we can, we're going to show you the starting lineups for these two teams as you are looking at the Phoebus High School.
Let's go, guys.
Side of the field, they're coming across the field for the toss of the point. We're going to give first of all the offense for the Kecoughtan Warriors. On offense, the center will be McKinney. The guards are Bowen and Elder. The tackles are
Captain Carrigan,
Vincent.
Captain Hill, Captain Edge is referee Mr. Dozier.
Captain, okay, gents, these are the Kecoughtan captains. Captain White, Captain Bunyan, Captain Brown, and Captain Brooks.
We'll see if we can listen in.
Right, gents, let me introduce the other officials for you tonight.
Of the toss of the coin.
Mr. Bullock will be our umpire, Mr. Barish will be our linesman, Mr. Young will be our back judge, Mr. Turlington will be our line judge. Gents, the clock will be official, okay? Phoebus, I'll call you white. Kecoughtan, I'll call you green. If I have a foul, I'll ask for the white captain or the green captain, all right? One thing I want you to take back to your ball clubs, when the whistle sounds, it's all over, okay? Nobody's going to get a touchdown after the whistle sounds. Nobody's going to recover a fumble. You got a guy wrapped up, whistle sounds, let him go, okay?
Bill
We've had the
Dozier,
toss.
as he is
You won the
explaining
toss, you've elected
the
to
situation
receive.
to
You'll be
both
kicking
the
and
team
defending
captains.
that goal, correct?
Our other
Okay,
officials
put your
are
backs
the
around
umpire
here.
is Bill
Come
Bullock.
around this way.
The linesman is John Barish. The line judge is Larry Turlington. As you see, Phoebus has won and will receive, defending the goal to our left. And the back judge is James Young.
We're trying to get up the rest of that Kecoughtan offensive starters at tight ends. We have Brinkley and Garrett. They are running 2 tight ends tonight rather than a split end, Tim. The flankers, Macy Brooks.
Brooks in capital letters. Chip Laws, Damon Roberts is one running back, and the quarterback, as you mentioned, Bob, Richard Wright, who came on for the injured other Roberts, and he's done a great job. They've averaged, I said 88 to 20, they've averaged 36 points a game since he came in, while allowing only 8 points per game.
Right, if we have a chance, we will throw the Phoebus defense, although that's not the way we're running. Phoebus will be on offense first.
Alan Warren will be the young man kicking off for Kecoughtan. They will, of course, be in the green and white uniforms. They are the home team tonight.
And we will get a chance to see this potent running attack that the Phantoms have. They will try to run the ball down their opponent's throat, but they do have a nice passing attack.
Ball fielded and fumbled. The ball is still loose.
Looks like Kecoughtan got it, Tim.
Well, no, the referee says Phoebus retains possession. So a break there for the Phantoms.
Whoa.
Fumbled the kickoff at the 20-yard line. And fortunately for Bill D's Charges, they were able to recover.
I tell you, that makes your heart kind of stop and pity pat if you're the head coach on the other side. You don't want to give any turnovers, and you sure don't want to do it on the very first play of the game.
12-minute quarters in high school football. Most of the rules are generally the same if you're a first-time watcher of high school football. Here on Channel 5, 2 wide receivers to the near side. This is T.J. Carrington, and Carrington picks up about 6 or 7 yards.
Well, Tim, Carrington is not very big. He's only 5'9". I had a chance to talk with him during the week, but he was hit and carried a couple of players 2 or 3 yards with him. Now, Kecoughtan will come out in a 4-4. They have 4 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and then the 3 defensive backs.
Second down and about 3 for the first. Just underway from Darling Stadium. Phoebus with the ball. First man through receives the handoff. That is Steve Dennis, number 35, close to a first down.
Well, he's their big fullback, really does more blocking than he does running. That time I watched and we saw a wide receiver and a split end to the right side. We have a hurt player on the field. I don't see who it is, Tim, as we watch the replay on this. That is the first running play from scrimmage, T.J. Carrington carrying the ball.
I cannot make out who the player being attended
It's number
to is.
88, Tim,
I
is
see that
who
now.
the young man is. That's Tony Avery, who is the tight end. He's 6'3", 195, just a sophomore. That's Bob Cisco. As we can watch, now this is the second running play where Dennis got the ball, and it's the first man through. He is stopped there, but gets hit from behind. And
oh, you can see what happened
yeah.
is Avery got hit from behind. One of the Kecoughtan players on the play fell on the back of his leg, and you see him limping off.
But that's a good sign. That's a good sign. He may be limping, but he's going off on his own power. So that's you got to feel good if you're the the Phoebus side of the bench. But that's a first down. 2 running plays and a first down.
Wide receiver to the near side, Johnny Lewis, the only wide receiver out. Out of the eye on the quarterback option, and a fine defensive effort prevents the quarterback, Torrey Edge, from getting started, as Edge has been most prolific carrying the football this year, averaging almost 7 yards per carry.
Well, that time, number 66, the defensive end, Mike Giddens, 6'1", 215, played that to near perfection. And when that happens, you don't gain any yardage. In fact, you lose a yard. We get a chance. I want to run down this Phoebus offensive starters, Tim, as we see the end of that play.
Second down and about, well, let's call it 11. On the option again, Edge keeps this time and gets out close to the 34-yard line, so he picks up about 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 for the first down.
And it could very well be a passing situation. At center, we've got number 56, Brian Howell. At the guards, we have Lewis and Olivis. At the tackles, Stivers and Roseboro. As you can see right there, now that's the Phantom defense, and we've got the offense on the field. So
3rd down and about 7. Edge wants to pass, has a man open, throws over the intended receiver's head. He was very well covered, as the intended receiver on the play was number 27, Maury Price, who has been the main go-to guy for the Phantoms.
He sure has.
When they do pass, and they don't pass very often.
Well, but Maury, Tim, is only 5'8". He's not very big. That ball was thrown real high, and just didn't have a chance to catch it. Kecoughtan has 10 men on the line of scrimmage, Tim. Look like they're going for a block.
A high snap, but it's fielded cleanly. Contact made with a punter, none with the ball, so that'll be a roughing the kicker call.
And that's Tim, the reason that mistake was made is because he went for the player rather than the ball, and the coaches will be on these young men and say, if you're trying to block, you go to the point where the ball is going to meet the foot. Don't go for the kicker. In that case, had he gone for the ball, he probably would have got it.
Sure, here's the replay. You're going to see he was there well in time to meet the ball, but there you see him clearly rough the kicker. And a very unfortunate play for the Warriors, as Sean Bunyan just simply went for the player instead of the ball, as you said, and it gives the Phantoms new life as they have a first down just shy of midfield. So Torrey Edge continuing at quarterback. Gives to the first man through. Dennis with big yardage down inside the 40 of Kecoughtan to about the 38.
That is that very quick hitter. That's the second time they've run that play. Nobody touched Dennis until he was in the secondary. Dennis is your fullback. T.J. Carrington is your tailback. Torrey Edge is your quarterback. And your wide receivers of Maury Price, Ron Hill, and a tight end is Tony Avery. And I don't know if Tony is back in or not, but he was number 88, was shaken up on an earlier play.
Dennis with 253 yards on 39 carries coming into this game. And that one a big first down. Again, the Phantoms stay on the ground. This time the Warrior defense led by number 42. That would be Morocco Brown, among others.
That young man's going to be in a lot of plays. Kecoughtan defense, you have your tackles, Wortham and White, your ends, Giddens and Baldwin. Your outside linebackers are Stern and Brooks, and your inside linebackers are Brown and Bunyan. The corners are Fox and Laws, and your safety is Payne. That rounds out the Kecoughtan defense, a good defense.
Gain of a yard on the last play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. The ball just shy of the 42-yard line. This is Carrington. Carrington finds good yardage, turns the corner. He's got the first down and then some. He's dragged down inside the 15-yard line, closer to the 10.
Looked like number 80 caught him. Was it Sean Bunyan, number 80, or was it 40?
Well, of
Payne?
more importance than that is Carrington comes up limping, and boy, could that be a big setback for the Phantoms if he is unable to continue. Here's the replay.
Watch this. He does a great job of following his blockers.
Oh, he got some great blocks, too. Look at number 9 downfield.
That was number 10 that got him, Tim.
Ronald Hill was doing some great downfield blocking, and when he was caught from behind, he came up limping.
That was Robert Gary that made the tackle.
This is Carrington, limp and all. He is down inside the 10 to about the 5-yard line. So Carrington came back gimpy, but in fact gets the next call.
Who does that remind you of? You remember the old Packers and Jim Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
He'd walk back to the huddle like he was dying, and they'd give him the ball, and he'd run over somebody.
Yeah.
Not saying that he's
right.
not hurting out there.
No, he might have just gotten a cramp. We didn't get a chance to mention that it's a beautiful night for football. Temperature at game time in the low 60s. A very light breeze, a comfortable evening for watching the game. Wish you were out here. Second down at the 5-yard line.
That was number 9 that got the ball that time, Tim, which is Ron Hill. He usually plays the slot back. They move him into the backfield when they stack that eye.
And it is enough for a first down. So the Phantoms, I have a little static in my ear set. I don't know about you. I've lost our return again, but
I thought I was just cleaning my sinuses, but that's
the Phantoms are looking at a first and goal at the 1-yard line. 6:17 remaining here in the first quarter. Edge keeps it himself. No indication yet. Now there is, as he burrows his way over for the touchdown.
Safest play in football. Keep the ball yourself and go straight ahead for the 1 yard. Don't even attempt a handoff. Nice drive, which was helped by that's a turnover, that roughing the kicker play that gave the Phantoms the first down at the 50-yard line, which enabled them to keep that drive alive.
Jeff Herman will try the extra point for the Phantoms. Out of Edge's hold, the kick is up, and it is good. So the Phantoms have taken a 7-0 lead with 6:08 remaining. That drive was a 5-minute and 52-second possession, 11 plays. As you said, Bob, the roughing the kicker was the big play there. It gave a first down to the Phantoms at midfield, and the final yard was gained by Torrey Edge for the touchdown. And during that drive, Carrington picked up a total of 38 yards. While Dennis had the big 19 yards as well, and Edge capped the predominantly rushing attack that you will see from the Phantoms with the 1-yard touchdown. Here's the replay of the touchdown. You can see it was more or less like a scrum in rugby.
It really was.
And they just kind of kept going until one of either they got stopped or the official ruled touchdown. And in this case, the Phantoms do dent the scoreboard first, and that is only the amount of points that Kecoughtan has allowed during the last 3 games. They've given it up now, so you got to see whether that defense is going to be able to hold off the Phantoms for the remainder. Herman has the ball teed up. He'll kick it away, fielded at the 8-yard line. This is Damon Roberts. He is out across the 30, where the Kecoughtan Warriors will have their first possession of the ball game.
Well, we've had a chance already to talk about the Kecoughtan offense. Let me run around the Phoebus defense real quick. They have a nose guard in Newsom. The tackles are Bostic and Jones. They have 2 inside linebackers, Doggett and Dennis. And if Dennis isn't in there, Howell will be. The outside linebackers are Wilson and Avery. The corners are Price and Hardy. The strong safety is Carrington, and the free safety is Ronald Hill. There's a good shot of the Kecoughtan sideline.
Quarterback is Richard Wright, and he keeps the ball on the first possession. Picks up a couple of yards right up the middle.
Bill D was real impressed with Richard Wright in that he said that when Devin Roberts got hurt and Richard Wright stepped in, and they didn't look like they didn't miss a beat with a new quarterback in there.
If I may be corrected, I believe that in fact was Chip Laws who carried on the close-in handoff. And now right over center, calling the signals. And nothing happening this time as Chip Laws is met by the center of the Phoebus defensive line, led by, among others, Charles Bostic, number 59, or 58 rather. And he got little or nothing. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Warriors. Play coming off the bench in the form of Morocco Brown. Here's your replay. Going to see Wright take the snap with a quick handoff to Laws, and Laws is met right at the line of scrimmage and got nothing for his efforts. Also, I want to give credit to number 78, L.J. Jones for the tackle as well. Pitch back goes to Roberts. Roberts makes a good move to get away from one would-be tackler, but then comes up well short of the first down. They need to get across the 40, and the play will be about 5 yards shy of the first down.
Let me back up to number 78, L.J. Jones, 6'2", 300, sophomore, started last year as a freshman. Coaches are very high on this young man. Morocco Brown drops back to punt for the Warriors.
The left-footed kicker gets it away. It's a floater, and it takes the Kecoughtan bounce at the 37-yard line, and it will roll dead at the Phoebus 30-yard line, where they'll start their second possession of the ball game with 4:02 remaining in the first period. I'm Tim Cole with Bob Hintz, coming to you live from Darling Stadium on this Friday, the October 23rd, and it's a pleasure to be able to do this. A very I was going to say, it's a pleasure to bring the game to you.
I was waiting for your statement. Dr. Sam tried to talk to us there for a second. I can't pick out what he's saying, so.
I think I picked it up. We have an exchange problem between Edge and the ball carrier. That was Dennis. They barely were able to maintain control of the ball. I understand we're having some difficulties, and in fact, we may not be as live as we had hoped to be.
Well, I'm as live as I want to be.
Glad to hear that. No gain on the play. Second down and about 10. It's a long 9. Call it 10 for the Phantoms. Clock moving rapidly here in the first quarter. 3:13 and moving. Two teams that don't throw the ball a lot. When you're the Phantoms and you average more than 270 yards a game on the ground, you don't need to throw it a lot. This is Edge on the option play, and again, a good job by Morocco Brown and others to shut down that option play before Edge was able to make a big gainer.
Well, he faked like he was going to make the pitch and didn't, and T.J. Carrington was hoping he would because there was nobody out there. He'd have picked up the first down if the pitch would have been made. But again, as a quarterback, you have to read the defense, and it's a very quick reaction that you are making a split-second decision whether the keeper split or what.
Here's your replay, and you see how very quickly it was closed down. Back to the live action now. Third down and about 5. Edge pitches at the last second. Carrington turns the corner, gets the first down, and stumbles as he crosses midfield to about the 45-yard line. Had he been able to maintain his balance, he would have gone all the way.
Well, I tell you, the young man that got his hand in there and stopped him was number 10 for the Warriors, and I believe that's Robert Gary.
Yep,
and that's exactly, and he's the one that made the stop on another long run by TJ. But you're right, had he not stumbled, he was gone.
First down at the Kecoughtan 44-yard line. The Phantoms have controlled this first period, 1:53 and moving. Power running up the middle for 2 or 3 yards. Steve Dennis getting a lot of playing time here in the first quarter. He has carried the ball a number of times.
And that's very unusual for him, but he's 5'10", 200, just a junior, and he's a big guy. He can take some of that pounding, and hopefully that will open up your outside game, and that looks like it's working so far this evening.
Second down and about 8. Edge on the option again, pitches to Carrington. Carrington, another first down. He bobs and weaves his way inside the 30 to about the 24-yard line.
Now, the only reason he got stopped is because he had to slow down. And finally, number 80 for the Warriors, Sean Bunyan, who was the inside linebacker, finally made the stop. But he's a hard man to get a clean shot on.
Now, I don't see a flag on the play, but the officials have stopped the clock, and they're conferring about something, and they are walking over to the Phoebus side of the field. Now, what this is exactly, I don't know. And Kurt Newsom, the coach for Kecoughtan, has come on the field. He'd like to know as well what's going on. We had hoped to have a live mic on referee Dozier. Not sure whether that is working or not. I have not heard it functioning. Now, a timeout is being called by the Kecoughtan Warriors. And Bob will take this opportunity to let you mention our player of the game situation.
Yeah, I do want to, while we got a quick break here, we will pick a DC Engraving Sports Place player of the game from each one of these teams tonight. They will receive a plaque and a shirt. DC Engraving is located at Tab Square on Route 17. Dave Buckwalter is the young man there, and we get a nice looking plaque that has photo engraving on it. It is very nice. Also, from the Sports Place, we will give a shirt, and the shirt, the Sports Place is located at Hampton Woods Plaza. David Chubb is the young man that you want to see there. And this is a nice shirt. It's got a football scene on it. The kids will really love it.
Here you see some of the crowd in attendance. A beautiful night for football.
The young lady in the middle of our picture just went out up to the left. That is Morocco's mother.
Oh, with the big green number 42 jacket. Yeah, I
That's
guess
right.
lets Mom wear his letter jacket,
Yeah.
right? Bunch of the fans here enjoying this beautiful night here at Darling Stadium. 1:06 remaining in the first.
This is truly a football evening, Tim. Very little wind, cool temperatures.
And I got to tell you, Bob, I'm a bit disappointed to see the crowd as small as it is, specifically on the Phoebus side of the field. I was quite surprised with a record of 5-1 and a strong contender for postseason play. I got to tell you, I'm a bit disappointed. Carrington down close to the 20-yard line, inside the 20 to about the 17.
Stopped by number 7, Macy Brooks, the outside linebacker. Now, Macy, 6'5", 210, senior, wrapped him up. Once he gets a hold of you, you're not going to go much further, as we watch the replay. A little faster than probably what he ran.
85 yards for Mr. Carrington in the first quarter alone, and we still have half a minute remaining. So he is on his way to a superb evening, to say the least. If he doesn't carry the ball again, he's got a great night. Kind of a mix-up in the backfield, or at least it appeared it might have been. Ron Hill gets the pitch from Edge. It looked like they faked to Dennis, and I thought Edge might have intended, in fact, to have handed off to Dennis.
It looked like there was a mistake in sometimes on this option. You place the ball in the center stomach, in the fullback center, and you pull it
Here's
back.
the replay. Watch what I'm talking about here. You're going to see it almost looks like he meant to hand it off to him. Then he says, whoops, I better run with it. And then at the last second had the presence of mind to pitch back to Ron Hill. And Hill made a good effort out of it to get the yardage he did. And that is the end of the first quarter at last play.
And he did pick up a first down.
Got a first down out of it. So maybe it wasn't a broken play as it appeared it could have been. But nonetheless, the Phantoms will have a first down deep in Kecoughtan territory as the second quarter will be getting underway momentarily. Again, I remind you, 12-minute quarters in high school football. And I also want to make you aware of the fact that something you probably know, every parent plays an important part in their child's education. In fact, much of the quality of a child's education depends on parents. Oftentimes, parents are unaware of the powerful influence that they can have on a child's achievement in the classroom. Throughout this school year, Hampton City Schools will provide information and helpful hints on how parents can provide a positive difference in a child's education. We want parents to become partners with their children for a better education. Remember, you can make the difference. Call 850-5200 to see how you can get involved. Parents, get involved in your education. You'll love the results. Contact the Hampton School Division to see how you can get involved. All right, we understand as we are set to start the second quarter, we understand we've had some difficulty getting the live coverage to you. If you've just joined us, we have a 7-0 score as we get set to start the second quarter. The Phantoms have a 1st and 10. This is TJ Carrington driven out of bounds inside the 5-yard line as the Phantoms again are threatening to score. Carrington was a major component in the Phantom drive for the first score. A running into the kicker penalty kept that drive alive as one of the Kecoughtan Warriors roughed the kicker on a 4th down, and they got the ball at midfield. Here's the replay of Carrington's last carry. There you see he turns the corner and just gets belted out of bounds at the last second. Coming over was Chuck Payne, number 40, to put the stop on him. Second down, the Phantoms can get a first down without scoring, but they won't need to because this is a touchdown, and it is T.J. Carrington who does the honors.
Well, now, you said earlier that he had 80-some yards, so he's got to be close to 100 yards, and we're just less than a minute into the second quarter play.
The first quarter, and again, we apologize for not being able to have the first quarter for you live. Of course, those of you watching on tape replay have seen that portion of the game. But on our live coverage, if you missed it, the Phantoms took the opening kickoff and marched 80 yards and scored the first touchdown of the ball game. Kecoughtan was 3 downs and out, and the Phantoms have had the ball pretty much their way. 4 minutes and 13 seconds, 10 plays, 70 yards, and the final 3 yards on the carry by T.J. Carrington. That is his 11th touchdown of the season so far. And with that, he has 97 yards net here in the first half. And by the way, I want to take this opportunity to thank the fine sports writers at the Daily Press for providing us with current statistics for this game, as they do all season long. And certainly without Mike Keach and Sonny Dirth and Eric Pugh, Al Pierce, and the rest of the fine writers at the Daily Press, we could not bring them all the information that we have. And there we are here in the studio booth at Darling Stadium, the beautiful Darling Stadium. Great night for football here at Darling, and we're very happy to be bringing this to you live, our first encounter to do so in the 1992 season. I'm Tim Cole, and to my right, Bob Hintz. To my left, Gary Moore, our statistician. And the kickoff to the Kecoughtan Warriors taken at the 15-yard line. This is Chip Laws, and Laws finds a hole. He's got good speed. He's got one man to beat. There's one man, and he is able to cut him down before he can go all the way, and that one man was number 80, Jeff Herman, the man who kicked off, and he was the last bastion for the Phantoms.
He sure was, Tim. I appreciate you thanking the sports writers for the help. I'd like to real quick thank Coach Bill D and his staff at Phoebus, and Coach Kurt Newsom and his staff over Kecoughtan. I was able to interview and talk to some of the players earlier in the week, and I really appreciate all the help they gave me.
Well, we always get the utmost cooperation from the Hampton City Schools, so we certainly do want to express our appreciation for that. The Warriors trying to get something going on offense, as they were unable to do so in the first quarter. The handoff went this time to Laws. You were going to watch the kickoff return from Chip Laws. There you saw him field it at the 15-yard line and waited for his blockers.
He just waited for something to open up. Sure did, Tim.
There you see it. Looks like he's got everyone beaten, but there's one man back, and there he comes into your picture. Jeff Herman just did enough to slow him down and cause him to be caught. And back to the live action, the left end for the Warriors left about 3 weeks early. Myron Brinkley left a long time before the ball should have been snapped, and that'll cost the Warriors 5 yards.
Tim, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a quick pass to Macy Brooks. Macy is a favorite receiver. He is 6'5". You're looking at the defensive backs for the Phantoms are 5'9", 5'10".
Second down.
Well, we're happy to tell you that Bill Dozier's mic is working now, too.
All right, very good. We have one young man back there, 6'2". The rest of them are 5'8", 5'9", and 5'10". So you're talking quite a few inches with the Macy Brooks there.
Second down at about 14. Throw it up for grabs. It doesn't get caught. It goes incomplete, as the intended receiver on the far side of the field was Macy Brooks, the young man you just alluded to.
Well, Tim, I don't know who Richard Wright. I know that his intended receiver was Macy Brooks, but the tight end on that side broke free and was wide open, and he just didn't see him because that was not his prime receiver.
Brooks with 15 catches and 279 yards total on the season.
Well, they got him double teamed. They've got a man up close and then a man back deep. There's that end again, wide open.
Third down at 14, and Richard Wright will not have an opportunity to find an open receiver, as he is hounded and finally downed by the Phoebus Phantoms. That was number 85 coming over to put the stop on him, Anson Wilson.
Outside linebacker, he did his job. You don't let the man get outside of you. and that's exactly what he did. Made the stop, and after a nice watch his replay, after a nice kick return, Kecoughtan is stymied.
Warriors just haven't been able to get the offense untracked here in the first half. 9:49 remaining in the half. Rocco Brown, flag is down. Brown's kick is a short one. It takes a slight roll for the Warriors and is downed inside the 15-yard line, but let's check the penalty flag.
Well, that's what he was trying to do. He just kind
Legal motion against the offense. They only had 10 on the field, 6 on the line.
So you need 7 men on the line of scrimmage. He just tried to pooch kick that ball so it would get inside the 20, and but they're going to make him, I think they'll probably make him kick it over again. Rocco does a lot. He plays linebacker. You'll see him kicking the ball. You'll see him run in one of the running
Legal
backs.
procedure. Not enough men on the line on the offense. 4th down.
So absolutely is correct, Bob. They will make him kick it again. It was a very effective kick. And, of course, this time the Phantoms are more inclined to believe he will, in fact, kick it. They didn't have a man back deep last time. Brown gets little pressure, gets it away, get another good kick. It takes a Kecoughtan bounce. It's fielded inside the 10-yard line.
That's Maury Price. He ran into his old man, but ended up with the ball about back where it was called dead on the first attempt.
So Maury Price gets it back to the 15-yard line. 9:11 remaining here in the first half. Here's the punt, and you'll see the punt return. Price, dangerous effort there with a Kecoughtan Warrior right in his face. And as I said, Bobby ran into his own player, which slowed him down enough.
Had he not done that, it very well could have picked up much more yardage than he did. But this Kecoughtan defense is going to have to get tough if they're going to slow down this potent running attack the Phantoms are showing, especially with T.J. Carrington, who has just, I believe you told me, just under 100 yards already in this first half of play.
Well, the Phantoms average more than 270 yards on the ground per game. And they're showing why with this stable of running backs led by their quarterback Edge and T.J. Carrington.
Well, he's wrapped up that time by number 80 for the Warriors, and that's Sean Bunyan, the inside linebacker. That was one of the, that's what Kecoughtan's going to have to do. They're going to have to start getting somebody to evidently either key on TJ or something, because when he gets the ball, he's very exciting and a very prolific runner.
Has 99 yards unofficially in the first half. 2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard gain. 8:20 remaining in the first half. Dennis out to the 25-yard line. Steve Dennis getting a lot of work here in the first half, as we mentioned.
Excuse me, Tim, there's a flag thrown on the ball, and it was a face mask. Unintentional face mask, but again, it's a face mask on the tackle, so they will tack on a penalty at the end of that play, and it's a 15-yarder. You don't have incidental face masks in high school.
Face mask on the defense. 1st down.
Watch the tackler come in here at the end and wrap him up and throw an arm right across the face. As you can see it right there, has a hold of the face mask, and that's the 15-yard. It was unintentional, but regardless, it's a 15-yarder.
40-yard line is the line of scrimmage for the Phantoms. Everything has gone their way in the first half. They lead 14-0, and Ron Hill gains a 1st down across midfield to the 48-yard line of Kecoughtan.
I tell you, the Kecoughtan team is just not hitting and sticking like they normally do. I've watched them play this year more than one time, and they're usually a pretty good tackling group, but not to take anything away from the Phantoms, Tim. Their runners are being hit, and they're not stopping. They're keeping their feet moving, they're twisting, they're turning, and they're picking up extra yardage.
Ron Hill with 18 carries and 124 yards on the season. I mentioned with Steve Dennis, he's only carried the ball a total of 11 times in the last 3 games, but he's got that many carries here in the first half.
And there he goes again.
And he is a tough man to bring down. He is close to another 1st down inside the 40-yard line of Kecoughtan.
Well, if you've watched if you've watched Phoebus play this year, like you say, the fullback very seldom gets the ball. So if you have scouted him like Kecoughtan has and you've got films, well, that's not the man that you expect to get the ball. He has been getting the ball tonight and been picking up a lot of yardage. Watch this, watch the end of that play. Good job, picked up 9 yards.
7 carries on 39 yards here in the first half. This is Carrington, and he is stopped short of the first down. He just barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
And that was Sean Bunyan again, number 80, was in on the stop. We've called his name numerous times tonight.
And we have a player shaken up on the play, I believe. And I think that might be Carrington again. Let's see, or maybe he just lost his shoe. I'm not sure.
His shoe
He's
is off.
got a cramp. That's what it is. His teammate is helping. Apparently a cramp.
Yeah, it is T.J. Carrington down on the thing. If you can see a good shot of it, it may have gotten a cramp in his toe.
If you have ever gotten one of those foot cramps, that is one painful thing, I'm telling you. He is apparently all right. He'll have to come off the field for at least one play, or the Phantoms would be charged with
Well, he's got to get his shoe on.
Yeah, for no other reason than
probably
that.
can run as well without the shoe, but they want to protect him as much as they can. But it's 3rd and still 1.
Ball squarely on the Kecoughtan 40-yard line with 6:23 remaining in the first half. 14-0 in favor of the Phantoms. And this is Dennis, and he will not get the first down. So the Kecoughtan Warrior defense stiffens here, and now will present Bill D's team with a 4th down and a yard. Of course, at the Kecoughtan 40, with the potency of Phoebus's running attack, you would not think they would hesitate to go for it.
Well, and as well as their defense have been playing against the Warriors, you're right.
Carrington, by the way, has returned to the lineup.
I'll look for him to maybe go to the outside instead of straight up the middle.
And they got Kecoughtan to jump off. Encroachment will cost them 5 and a first down.
How many times we've seen that
Dead ball
this year?
foul, encroachment against the green. First down.
So you heard Bill Dozier, and again, we thank the officials, in particular Bill Dozier, for allowing us to have the live mic on him so you can hear him explain as we go through the game the different infractions. But the Phantoms, as I said, it's been all their first half, as they now have a first down at the Kecoughtan 35. 5:25 left in the first half. 14-0 in favor of the Phantoms. Option play, Carrington, right side, good open field tackle.
Wow.
Coming over to make the stop was Winston Fox, number 1, and he did a good job. You bring down Carrington in the open field like that, you've done a good job.
He has so many good moves, T.J. Carrington, that one man normally doesn't bring him down, but Winston Fox did a great job of not only going for the tackle, but driving through to the other side. Watch on the replay how he comes up, avoids the tackle. He's right, a blocker right there at the top of your screen, and went through the legs. I mean, when he hit, he drove on through. That's what makes a great tackle.
Pick up a 4, second down and about 6. And the ball carrier this time is Ron Hill. He is the senior on the team. Hill averaging 6.9 yards per carry, a little more than 20 yards per game. But I was looking at the averages for Phoebus. Now, listen to this. The quarterback averages 6.9 yards per carry. Carrington 7.2. Steve Dennis 6.7. Ron Hill 6.9. And then Pat Brown, who we haven't even seen carry the ball tonight, 11.2 yards per carry.
You're trying to say they have a potent running attack.
Well, you're not going to look at a lot of third downs when you have 6 to 7 yards every time you carry the ball.
Got that right.
Carrington picks up 2 or 3 on this play.
And when he was met that time, young Morocco Brown, number 42, put his helmet in his chest and brought him down, but he still picked up the first down.
All marked inside the 24, make that the 23-yard line for the Phantoms as they grind it out. Here you see Carrington from ground level, and then back up a little higher. You see Morocco Brown, as you said, Bob, bury him in the ground, but not before. Carrington picks up the first down. Wide receiver to the near side, Tony Avery, number 88. But they're not going to throw to him. This time, Carrington stopped for a short gain, if any.
Well, that was Marcus. Excuse me, Tim. That was Marcus White, number 76, a defensive tackle. He's 6 foot, but 275. Did a great job of fighting off the blocker and making that stop and holding Dennis to, holding
yeah, it was Carrington.
It was Dennis?
Yeah, no, it was Carrington.
Carrington, that's what I thought.
Dennis led, if you can see there on the replay, Dennis was leading the blocks, but it was Carrington.
Well, that's normally what you find Dennis doing is the blocker.
On the option, Carrington gets the pitch from edge, and he is wrestled out of bounds on the far side of the field. Coming up for the stop, Chuck Payne, number 40. But again, good yardage for Mr. Carrington.
Well, if your defensive backs are making a lot of your tackles, that's not good because that means that they're getting beyond the line of scrimmage and picking up 5 yards at least at a clip. You want your linebackers and your, as we watch the replay, you want your linebackers and your defensive linemen making the tackles. We're spreading out the field this time, although we got a wide receiver and a split end.
Edge keeps and crosses the 15-yard line close to a first down. It will depend on where they spot the ball. I believe he'll come up about a half a yard short of the first.
He looks like he's about a yard to a half yard short. I don't know whether Phoebus is going to go for it now. This is 4th down. They have a real good kicker in young Mr. Herman, who has got a real good leg, but looks like we've got, well, they may be trying to draw him offside, too. We don't know what they're going to try to do here. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
And the Warriors stay home this time.
I said, no way. I heard from the truck we have one of our old timers come back.
Old would be the operative word.
Come back to give us a hand.
Yes.
Slow-Mo Joe.
Slow-Mo Joe, the original, the one and the only. Those viewers who are joining us for the first time probably don't know about Slow-Mo, but he's a legend in his own mind.
And Mr. Parker's been doing a fine job
down
there.
Alan does a great job.
Alan does a great job at the slow motion machine, but always nice to get somebody back that broke that machine in.
Among other things. 2:01 remaining in the first half, 14-0 in favor of the Phoebus Phantoms. They are looking to improve their record. They're 5-1 overall, 4-1 in the district, while Kecoughtan 4-2 overall, 3-2 in the district.
Well, while we got this quick intermission here, let me say that we are going to pick a player of the game from each one of these teams. A DC Engraving Sports Place player of the game. We will receive a plaque and a shirt. The plaque comes from DC Engraving, which is located at Tab Square on Route 17. Dave Buckwalder is a young man out there. The sports place is located at Hampton Woods Plaza. Dave Chubb is the young man there. The plaque is a tremendous plaque that is given to these young players, and the shirt, of course, is specially made for our football players of the game.
4th down and a yard. The Phantoms could try the field goal. They will not. They'll instead pick up the first down easily all the way down to the 11-yard line. Carrington gets the call. Start.
I thought they may go for the field goal, but they have such a potent running attack, and you've got a young man that's got not only the speed but the power of T.J. Carrington. Get him the ball. That offensive line, though, not to take anything away from the Warriors, offensive line is doing a great job opening up some holes.
And that defensive line stopped Steve Dennis for no gain that play, but they've been on this field almost the entire first half. Kecoughtan will get some halftime statistics, but Kecoughtan has been on defense almost the entire first half.
They sure have. But that time, 76 Marcus White and 66 Mike Giddens are the two that make the stop. And if you're a coach, that's who you want making your tackle, your defensive line. And that's not been the case for the most part, as we have just about a minute to go.
Edge looking in the end zone, decides instead to keep the football, and the Warriors stop him for no gain on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 10. And now quickly a timeout called by the Phantoms, stopping the clock with 49 seconds remaining. This gives me an opportunity to mention to you, by the way, that's their second timeout of the first half. They have 1 remaining. We do invite you to stay tuned for live coverage of our halftime show. Karen Schaffner and the Kecoughtan Warrior High School Marching Band will be performing for you at halftime. And as I said, that will be part of our coverage. We invite you to stay tuned. We traditionally on tape replays show that at the end of the game, but for this special live broadcast tonight, we will have that for you at halftime in proper sequence.
Now, let me throw a little plug in here for the Kecoughtan Band. Ken Boniford, who is the director of this Kecoughtan Band, they got about 180 members. They're putting on a Warrior Classic, which will be held the 31st of October right here at Darling Stadium. They have about 19 bands all over, from all over Virginia and North Carolina competing in 6 different categories. They are the host team, a host band. They will not be in competition, but they will be putting on a little show themselves, and we will get to see part of that tonight at halftime. If you enjoy great marching bands and you want to be down here, it starts at like at 2 o'clock on the 31st on right here at Darling Stadium. It goes from until about 8 o'clock that evening.
I did want you to know, Bob, talking with Gary Moore while you were doing a nice plug for Kecoughtan's band, they have 1 yard total offense in the first half. Kecoughtan, that's how dominant the Phantoms have been. 3rd down and 10. Edge looking as he is falling, throws for a touchdown. A flag is down, however.
Wow.
The touchdown would be a 11-yard pass to Steve Dennis.
Against the offense.
But it'll be wiped out. You heard Bill Dozier tell you, holding against the Phantoms. So
I tell you,
mark it off the board.
Torrey Edge got that off as he was being hit. What a nice pass.
Here's your replay. Now let's see if we can pick up the holding. There you see the double fake. Edge rolling to his left. And we don't see the hold on that particular shot, but there
Holding
you saw.
On the offense. Still 3rd down.
So Bill Dozier told you the call, and it backs the ball up to the 24-yard line, takes the 6 points off the board, and with 43 seconds remaining in the half, the Warriors now are looking at a 3rd down and need to get all the way to the 2-yard line for a 1st down, and that's 22 yards away.
You got that right. You think he's going to put the ball in the air? Quarterback draw,
and the Warriors did not bite on that one at all as they were ready and waiting for Mr. Edge. So now the 4th down brings up the situation. If you go for the field goal, and this would not be so far out of the realm of a possibility as the Phantoms call their final timeout of the first half.
That was really a smart play, because if you're the Warriors, you would be expecting the pass, and perhaps you will rush the passer a little harder as we watch it. I think if he'd gone back maybe 1 more step, he may have gotten the rush that he wanted and maybe picked up some yard. That was a good call. Just was the defense was not fooled.
While we have this timeout, I do want to take this opportunity to thank Hampton University as well as Warner Cable for all of their assistance in our bringing you this game live from Darling Stadium tonight. The crew over at Hampton University and Warner Cable, without whose help we could not have been able to do this, worked long and hard. Someone had to go all the way up to the top of that light pole to put up that dish.
Well, I'll tell you, 2 people, it wasn't me, and it wasn't Scotty.
There's 3 people.
Yeah, and it wasn't you, huh?
That's for sure.
Oh, I tell you, I saw that thing. I looked up how high that is, and I said, no way would I go up there. I'm a little afraid of heights anyway, and then my wife thinks I'm crazy because I went up in an ultralight, but that's beside the point.
Total dominance of the first half.
There we can see it. Right at the top of that light is the sideline. Here we go with, it'll be about a 41-yarder.
He's hit a 39 earlier in the season. This one is no good, wide to the left. So Jeff Herman has 4 field goals so far this season, the longest being 39 yards. This time his 41-yard attempt ends up wide to the left. So the Kecoughtan Warriors have to be buoyed by the fact that they were able to deny the Phantoms. And to be honest with you, with total dominance as it's been, it could be a lot worse than 14-0.
You got that right. What? There's the pole. Now watch it. You keep going and going. And
you lost me after the second step.
I wouldn't even get on the second step.
There you saw.
Oh, wow. No way.
From the 20-yard line, Kecoughtan will start. Richard Wright, who has filled in for Devin Roberts very capably the last 3 games, but has been unable to get his team untracked here. And the option play to Laws. The ball is loose, and Laws is able to recover. It's been just that difficult for the Warriors here in the first half.
Well, I tell you, for the Phantoms, number 7 wanted that ball some kind of bad. He was trying to get it, and that's Terrence Dunn.
That ball laid on the ground for what seemed an agonizingly long time. Here's your replay. You'll get a chance to see this again. Macy Brooks leveling his like number, and then the pitch from Wright is behind Laws. There you see it. Now, it's a live ball, and they're scrambling like mad to get to the ball. And fortunately for the Warriors, Laws is able to be the first player to control it. And at that point, the Warriors, I guess, are just happy to get off of this field and in the locker room to try and regroup, because we did not see Kecoughtan play anywhere at all near their capacity here in the first half.
Not at all, Tim. And to play as bad as you did and to only be down 14 points, that is something that you can make up, because Kecoughtan can strike real quick, as we saw on that that kickoff return that was almost broken by Chip Laws. He was finally stopped by the kicker, but they are an explosive team, so you can't feel too bad if you're Kecoughtan, because you've only given up 14 points when it should have been probably 21 points.
Well, we'll have the halftime statistics compiled for you after we watch and listen to the Kecoughtan High School Marching Band. But just to give you, as we said, a flavor of the first half, Kecoughtan has yet to register a first down in the first half. I mean, we've got halftime minus 1 yard. The 1 yard they had gained, they lost on that play. So they end up negative yardage for the first half. And Kurt Newsom and his coaching staff has to go into the locker room and really start all over again, because we can't emphasize too much the fact that they're only down 14-0, and certainly that's not an insurmountable lead. But when you haven't played well and Kecoughtan hasn't, you've got to figure out something to get going here in the second half.
You got that right.
189 total net rushing yards for the Warriors, should be for the Phantoms at halftime. Now we invite you to stay tuned for live coverage of our halftime show with the Kecoughtan High School Marching Band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Entering the field now for your halftime entertainment is the award-winning Marching Warrior Band.
Watch the Kecoughtan High School Marching Band and their halftime performance. An award-winning performance, to say the least. A superb effort by the Kecoughtan High School Marching Band. Halftime statistics for you.
Let me have them. What do we got?
Here they are. We're going to have them for you on the screen in just a second here. We're going to show you what has happened. If you didn't see it, you would not believe it. First downs, none for the Warriors. 17 for the Phantoms. Total rushing yards, -1 to 189 for the Phantoms. Neither team connected the pass. Third down efficiency, the Warriors had 2 attempts and missed both. 3 out of 7 for the Phantoms. The Phantoms never punted the ball in the first half. And there you see the time of possession, an awesome 13-minute difference for the Phantoms here at halftime as they were led individually Carrington, 16 carries with 115 yards net, his longest 24, 7.2 average per carry. Dennis carried 9 times for 38 yards. Hill 4 for 25, and Edge 7 carries for only 11 yards, well below his average coming into this ball game. 36 total carries for 192 yards. When you net out the -3, it's 189 yards. For the Phantoms, averaging better than 5 yards every time they carried the football. So you average 5 yards a carry, you're going to win a lot of football games.
You got that right.
For the Warriors, Roberts 2 carries, total of 6 yards. Laws 2 for 1, and Wright thrown for 8 yards in minus yardage, and that ends up being -1 yard. The only bright spot for the Warriors in the first half was the 57-yard kickoff return by Chip Laws. Roberts also returned one for 23 yards, and that was the bright spot. So when your kickoff return is your bright spot, you know you got a lot of work ahead of you in the second half. Neither team passed the ball but one time and did not complete any passes. And we are about set to go as the Warriors will have the ball to start the second half. And I thank Gary Moore for his usual incredible statistical help.
He's incredible?
He is incredible. 36-yard line. Fair catch called for and taken by the Warriors. They didn't want to give up any of that great field position they'll have at their 36. Fair catch called for and made by the Warriors. So they'll actually start from closer to the 37. Richard Wright will be the quarterback as he was throughout the first half. The 6'1" senior. And a mix-up on the first play from scrimmage, and it doesn't start out any better than it did the first half. Wright stumbled as he moved to his left and was trying to hand the ball off, and the mix-up results in no gain on the play. Wright comes over to the near sidelines to talk with Kurt Newsom, the head coach, and find out what the play is. Kurt is calling the plays. Morocco Brown comes in rather late, replacing Chip Laws, who will step out. Second down and 10 for the Warriors. They trail 14-0. Pitch to Roberts, and Roberts coughs the ball up. The ball is recovered by the Phantoms.
I tell you, Maury Price, number 21, came running over. He was in the wrong place defensively, and he put his helmet right on the ball, which popped that ball up. We have a Phantom that is shaken up. It looks like number 58 for the Phantoms. That's
Charles Bostic.
Charles Bostic, who is he plays on the line.
Here's your replay. You're going to see Roberts here. The ball is hit by Carrington. Carrington put his helmet on the ball and popped that baby loose.
That was Carrington. I thought it was Maury Price at first, but you're right, Tim. Put it right on the ball. And
did you see who recovered the ball, Bob? I did not pick that up. If we can see that one more time, if Scotty will indulge us while they help Bostic off the field.
And Bostic is 6'5", 245, just a junior. It's good to see him get up and get off the field without any help.
At any rate, the Phantoms get the ball on the turnover. They'll start at the 35-yard line of Kecoughtan, just what Kurt Newsom and his staff did not want to have happen. Trailing by 2 touchdowns, and now the Phantoms with the ball again. This is Carrington. Carrington weaves his way close to a first down as he is down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line.
Tim, he can cut either way without losing a whole lot of speed, which makes him a very effective runner.
9 yards for Carrington on the play, adding to his already awesome total of the first half, 115 at halftime. Here's your replay. Watch how Carrington picks his spots. That's what makes him such an effective runner. Watches his blocking, cuts at just the right time, and picks up 2 or 3 extra yards.
And that was Chuck Payne, number 40.
Flags down as the ball carrier is Dennis. And he is a tough man to bring down, but a penalty flag is down on the play.
And where that penalty flag is laying, it looks like it's going to be legal procedure movement or something in the backfield. Maybe Dennis got a half a count step.
the offense.
And that's what he's calling illegal procedure. I didn't catch on it, but sometimes when you're going to get the ball, you have a tendency to leave a half a count early, and that may have been the case. I'm not sure who the penalty was.
Illegal procedure on the offense, 6 on the line.
Oh, we only had 6 on the line.
So no one left early.
You got to have 7.
Hey, defense.
32-yard line is the spot. Second down and 6. And Carrington again gets the call and picks up the first down inside the 25 to about the 22-yard line.
And that's Macy Brooks, number 7, along with Chuck Payne, number 40, making the stop.
The Warriors, as I said, got off to a slow start this season in that they started off with a 3-point victory at Denby and then lost consecutive games to Hampton and Bethel. That's a tough way to start your season, playing Denby, Bethel, and Hampton. We already know about Denby, and they upset the Bethel Bruins last week. But the Warriors have righted it ever since. And carrying the ball down to the 16-yard line is Steve Dennis. Or is that Carrington? Excuse me.
And that was number 80, Sean Bunyan, and 42, Morocco Brown in on the stop. But they're picking up too much yardage before they're being tackled. Another 5-yard gain.
Gain of 5 on the play, 2nd and 5.
Who carried the ball that time, Tim? Was it? I thought it was TJ.
It was Carrington. Yeah.
I thought it was.
But again, Dennis leading the blocks for him. It was kind of hard to pick up from this distance. This is definitely Carrington, and Carrington is inside the 17-yard line.
And that's big number 76, Marcus White, on the bottom. He's the one that stopped Carrington, and Morocco Brown finished him off. Marcus White, 6 foot 275. Hasn't missed too many meals.
3rd down and 4 after the 1-yard gain. 8:30 remaining in the 3rd quarter. If you joined us late, you're watching live from Darling Stadium the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Phoebus Phantoms. Phoebus with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead. Edge pitches to Carrington. Carrington gets by one would-be tackler and another, and ends up making 2 yards on a play that could have easily been a loss.
I tell you, what an exhibition TJ is putting on. I hope I get a chance to talk with him at the end of the game. I'm just impressed with not only his running ability, but his balance. After being hit, he still picked up the 2 yards.
Here's your replay. Now watch this on the option play. He gets the pitch. It looks like he is dead in his tracks right there. Gets away from one man, then fakes another guy out, maintains his balance, and goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 4th down now. The Phantoms looking at a 4th and about 2. And the quarterback keeper, I don't know if that was by design. It looked like there might have been a mix-up.
Well, it looked like people were moving early, and actually what happened was the ball was centered before anybody else moved, I think. So we're going to have a measurement. But that, I don't believe that was the play call, but heads up on Tory Edge to have enough presence of mind to go straight ahead with it. I should have asked you, Illegal Eye.
Well, he got it by the nose of the football, but I couldn't tell from here. In all honesty, I just didn't have a good angle on that one, Coach.
Well, I didn't put you on the spot.
And I appreciate that. I was willing to say he made it just after they indicated it.
Oh, afterwards.
Yeah.
Wow. That's being right just about every time, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Phantoms control the football here in the 3rd quarter after the Kecoughtan turnover. The Phantoms have just dominated the ball, and the Warrior defense has been on the field virtually all game long. They've got to be some tired young men at this point. Carrington is still on his feet, down close to the 10-yard line.
He ran right out of the arms of Marcus White, the big defensive tackle for the Warriors. I mean, he had him, and he just ran right out of it before he could close his grip.
Carrington's best evening for the season was against Ferguson when he had 189 yards on 23 carries. And then last week in Menchville, he had 164 yards on 17 carries. And as you might have imagined, the game he did not do well in was against Hampton, had 12 carries for only 6 yards. So the Hampton defense was able to shut him down, but that's the only team that has been successful in doing so. Carrington driving down inside the 5, close to another first down.
And again, is Chuck Payne, number 40, the safety, making the tackle.
And again, an official's timeout for the measurement. It'll be close enough for a measurement inside the 5. We're going to watch the replay of Carrington's last effort.
Watch the way he follows his blockers, Tim, and then after he gets hit, he's not easy to bring down. And he's just short of picking up the first down.
One notch in the chain is the difference between the first down and what is now going to be a third down. So it's third down and inches to go. And with 2 efforts, you'd have to say it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that the Phantoms are a serious threat again to add to their point total. 6:50 remaining in the third. Tory Edge, the quarterback, is going to be very close to the first down, and he does have the first down. But to the defensive team's credit, the Warriors, who I mentioned before, have been on the field virtually all night long. They didn't give it up very begrudgingly. They weren't going to give him that yard or that inch without a struggle. And
well, it was the second effort by Tory Edge that really got the first down that time. It wasn't on the first surge.
So first and goal at the 2. This is Carrington, and Carrington has his 12th touchdown of the season.
You just cannot make mistakes and give the ball to the Phantoms in the field position that they got on that drive. You got to come out and make something happen if you're Kecoughtan. You turn the ball over, the Phantoms take advantage of it and can go up 21-0.
10 plays, 4 minutes and 39 seconds, 36 yards was the length of the drive after the turnover. And Carrington with his second touchdown of the night and the third extra point of the evening for Jeff Herman. And the Warriors now find themselves 3 touchdowns behind, and they still haven't gotten a first down in the ballgame, and we've played almost half of the third quarter.
They have not gotten a yard gained yet, I don't believe, have they?
No, they've lost a yard since halftime. They're -2. So to the credit of the Phoebus defense, they have just totally shut down. Here you see the replay of the touchdown. Carrington struggling in for the touchdown. Macy Brooks, I believe that was Macy. Let's see, number 7.
Yeah, number 7 is Macy.
Yeah.
It might have been number 1, Winston Fox. I wasn't sure which one had a hold of him. I could see it looked like a 1 or a 7 on the jersey, but regardless, when he got a hold of him, he was already in the end zone. So
6:23 remaining in the third quarter. Phoebus with a 21-0 lead. The only blemish on the Phantoms' record for the season was that lone loss to the Hampton Crabbers, 27-12 in the 4th game of the season. Since then, they rebounded. They beat Gloucester the next week only by 8 points, and a fair catch called for and taken. An instant replay of the same play that started the second half.
Well, if you don't want to give them a chance to run the ball back, then you pop it up like that and make them fair catch it. Because it's a live ball once it goes 10 yards. Anybody can get it. So not a bad move by the coaching staff of the Phantoms. Bill D, head coach over there. We didn't get a chance to talk about the other coaches over there.
We'll do that next chance we get.
Yes.
So the Warriors desperately needing to get on track, start from their 35-yard line. Wright wants to pass, throws for Brooks. He's got it at midfield, and a first down at midfield for Macy Brooks.
And he is double teamed, Tim. but he is so big and such a big target that Richard Wright didn't have any problem getting the ball to him. Nice pass, nice catch. Watch the replay. There's a nice shot of big number 7, Macy Brooks. Just a nice toss, and you can see there that Macy almost drug him down the field.
16th reception on the season for Brooks. Quick look-in pass completed to number 81, Joe Garrett. And consecutive plays, net first downs for the Warriors. So unable to run the ball, they've had to go to the air.
Well, sometimes that happens. You sometimes have to pass the ball. You get successful on that. That will sometimes open up your running game. Watch the replay. Just a nice quick hitter. Nobody, and in fact, the ball was thrown a little bit behind Garrett, but he did a great job of hanging on. He's 6'1", 190, just a junior.
38-yard line, first down for the Warriors. Roberts gets the call, and Roberts has good yardage, coughs the ball up. Now let's see if the ball was blown dead.
It was dead. He was down, and the official from the far side came in very emphatically and pointed to the ground.
Boy, that would have been a backbreaker for the Warriors if they had coughed that one up. And they pick up yet another third down. So 3 plays, 3 first downs. And the Warriors will get a chance to see this again. Now, you be the judge for yourself. Was the young man down on the ground? The ground cannot cause a fumble. And I think that's a good call. It looked like he was down before the ball came loose. In the grasp of Anson Wilson, number 85, for the Phantoms.
Well, the Kecoughtan has gone away from their double tight end, and they now have a split end and the flanker, Macy Brooks, and the number 16 for the Warriors is split out on the other side. That's Jose Coker, I'm sorry.
Power running for the Phantoms, for the Warriors, as they have another Phoebus player shaken up on the play. And officials timeout.
That's Dennis, 35, the fullback who's playing linebacker, and if he goes out, we will probably see the center who also backs up and plays that linebacker spot, Brian Howell, come in for him.
Second down and about 6 for the Warriors. This is Roberts, Damon Roberts, across the 20. He'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down. It'll be third down.
Number 5, David Roberts, the ball carrier.
I know both of these centers on both of these teams, Tim. For the Warriors, Pete McKinney, I coach his dad over at Sims, and the center for the Phantoms, Brian Howell, Randy Howell's a good friend of mine. So I know both of the centers on both of these teams.
Third down and about 3 for Kecoughtan. And no first down forthcoming, as Richard Wright was upended before he could get the first down. It'll be fourth down for Kecoughtan.
I tell you, the Phantoms played, that was just a straight dive, quick opener, trying to get the yardage for the first down, and the Phantoms did a great job. As we watched the replay, you can just see it was stacked up. Great job by the Phantoms.
Actually, it was Laws who got the handoff, I believe, Chip Laws, and they are going for it, fourth down, trying to draw the Phantoms off, and the Phantoms stayed at home, and a timeout called by Kecoughtan. That'll be their first of the second half.
That wasn't a bad call. We've seen that work once tonight for the Phantoms, but they stayed home that time and did not get caught. Well, we got a quick second before you run out. I do want to talk. We are going to pick a DC Engraving Sports Place Player of the Game sometime tonight from each one of these two teams. Go ahead.
I need to start thinking about that, don't we?
As we do that.
But we also want to remind you that every parent plays an important part in their child's education. In fact, much of the quality of a child's education depends on parents. Oftentimes, parents are unaware of the powerful influence they can have on a child's achievement in the classroom. Throughout this school year, Hampton City Schools will provide information and helpful hints on how parents can provide a positive difference in a child's education. We want parents to become partners with their children for a better education. All right, back to the live action here. 4th down and about 3. Quick look-in pass is incomplete. And the Warriors will have to give it up on down.
And it's really a shame the young man was wide open. That was number 44.
Myron Brinkley.
Oh, wide open. It was just not a well-thrown ball. It was thrown down low. And that's a real shame.
Here you'll see the replay. Wright has time. You're right, he is wide open, and it was just poorly thrown. Just one of those things that happens.
Well, Wright just hurt himself a little bit, I believe. He thought that he's got to get it off quick, but that could very well have been a touchdown. Not only a first down, but a touchdown had it been a well-thrown ball.
What could have been. All right, the Phantoms on downs get the ball. Now they call a timeout as they have some confusion on the first play of their possession here with 2:58 remaining.
Let me go through this real quick. We will pick a DC Engraving Sports Place player of the game from each one of these two teams tonight. They will receive a plaque from DC Engraving, which is located at Tab Square on Route 17. Dave Buckwalder is a young man out there, does a great job. This is a Magic of Metal photo. Also, they will receive a shirt from the Sports Place, which is located at Hampton Woods Plaza. Dave Chubb is a young man you need to see there. This shirt is especially designed for football, and the kids are really going to enjoy it when they get those that receive this player of the game, which is, by the way, very unscientific in our selections.
Also want to make the fans aware of some upcoming games here that we'll have on Channel 5. The same Phoebus Phantoms will tangle with the Bethel Bruins on November the 6th, which will be our next game. And then we'll cap off our season with the big finale, the Hampton-Bethel annual clash at 2 o'clock on the 14th of November here at Darling Stadium. But regardless of those games, get out and support your high school sports, whether your favorite team is Bethel, Hampton, Kecoughtan, Phoebus, or wherever. Support these high school athletics. It's a well-spent few dollars. I mean, it's the best buy in town. This is Carrington. Carrington with a big gainer out across the 35-yard line for a first down and about 16 yards on the carry.
Finally caught by Macy Brooks and number 76 for the Kecoughtan defense, Marcus White.
No, you know we got 2 games tomorrow.
Watch this. Nice hole, big hole. Good blocking at the point of attack by the Phantoms.
Back to the live action as Carrington now with 170 yards on the ball game, rapidly approaching his best season effort.
Young Mr. Dennis has carried the ball, you said tonight, more times than he has all season.
Pretty close to it. He, coming into this ball game, Steve Dennis had 39 carries coming in, but in the last 3 games, he'd only carried 11 times, and tonight alone, he's carried 10 times. So in this game, he will have equaled what he did the last 3. He picked up about 3 on the play, 2nd and 7, and tripping up on the play for one of the few times that he did not get plus yardage tonight. Carrington goes down for a loss of a yard or 2.
Well, and that was because of the cut. Nobody touched him. He made a cut and his foot went right out from under him.
Lost 3 on the play, so take away from his total, he backs down out to 167. He doesn't want to go in that direction. Carrington, as I mentioned, his best evening was 189 yards against Ferguson. And again, that poor Kecoughtan defense has been on the field virtually all game long. Quick pass, flagged down.
Nice move by Maury Price to avoid the first tackler, but the flag is at the line of scrimmage. So it could be against the Phantoms, and that's what it looks like.
Illegal motion. Against the offense. Thank you.
So Bill Dozier told you illegal motion against the offense wipes out that very fine pass, catch, and run. Here we see the replay.
About an 18-yard gain.
Flag thrown right at the feet of Maury Price.
Against the offense.
Price may have left a little early, and that's a possibility. And nonetheless, a fine-looking play, but it's wiped out by the penalty flag. So it brings up a 3rd down and 15 for the Phantoms.
We do baseball games occasionally.
Yes, we do.
And do you know who the catcher for the Phantoms is, by any chance?
Maury Price?
No.
Oh.
I kind of set you up
It
for
was
that.
a logical conclusion.
Yeah, Torres.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a guess. That was my next guess.
Yeah, well, I kind of set you up for that. I apologize.
Sure you did. All the way out to the 36-yard line, but it's still 4th down and 10 for the Phantoms. So they will be on to try their first punt of the ball game.
And almost the end of the 3rd quarter.
We've got a delay here. Well, we had one. One of the officials was downfield talking to the Kecoughtan player, Chip Laws, who was back on the play. Laws couldn't control it and finally just fell on the ball at the 23-yard line. I'm not sure what that was all about. I want to look downfield to see who was back deep.
Well, the official was helping equipment adjustment with Mr. Laws, and the clock was running, and they were centering the ball. I mean, some communication wasn't going very well with the officials.
28 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And they came close to blocking that punt.
And fortunately for the Warriors, they got off to a bad start. If you recall, in the first drive, and those that watch this live would not have known this, but the Phantoms had a drive going in the first half on their first possession and had a 4th down, but a roughing the kicker penalty gave them a 1st down at midfield, and then it's history after that. The Phantoms took the ball in for the score and haven't looked back.
Well, big Mr. L.J. Jones, 6'2", 300, all 300 pounds in that time, grabbed that runner and never let him out of his grasp.
That's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter, as we have played 3 here at Darling Stadium. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz bringing you this game between the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Phoebus Phantoms. And again, we want to thank Hampton University and Warner Cable for all of their help and cooperation in our efforts to bring you this game live tonight. We do apologize for some problems in the 1st quarter with bringing you both sound and picture, but I'm told we've got everything under control now, and we're very happy to be bringing this to you live. And of course, we will continue to tape delay these games for replay. This game and all of our games are seen on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday nights at 8 p.m. here on Channel 5. 4th quarter about set to go, and this is very possibly a devastating loss for the Kecoughtan Warriors, because as you said, Bob, with all the Hampton teams, and they are all strong right now, being in Division 5, there just isn't room for more than one loss on your side in order to get into a wild card position. Now, maybe you could explain ever so briefly some of the playoff possibilities. How many teams from the peninsula could there be involved? Do you know?
There's only going to be 2 teams, and basically what happens is they go by power rating. You also have to go with who wins what district.
Your peninsula district winner is automatically given a berth.
Well, it's your Southeastern and your Eastern both have Division 5. Your Beach is all Division 6. So you've got 2 teams from each one of those districts that are undefeated right now, along with Hampton, so that's your first 3 spots. Right now, Bethel is the number 4 spot, and as we saw a pass thrown behind Morocco Brown, and Phoebus is like in the number 5th place. So Hampton doesn't play a tough team until they play Bethel. So, but Bethel's got Hampton and Phoebus to get by.
Right.
So,
yeah, there's a lot of different scenarios.
Yes, too many.
Here's the replay. You saw Richard Wright throwing for Morocco Brown. He was open. Wright just couldn't get a hold of the ball. And it stops the clock with 11:54 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wright back to pass. long intended for Macy Brooks and almost picked off by the Phantoms. That was, I believe, number 87. Excuse me, 7. That would be Macy. I'll get it right. Yes, Terrence Dunn, number 7, almost picked off that pass.
Was it 7? Number 27.
Maybe it was 27.
Yeah, it
Maury
was
Price.
27 for the Phantoms. Maury Price had almost picked it up. He's the one who plays the deep safety, and you see how far back he's playing, but he's well out of your picture while he's right now because of the punt.
Rocco Brown gets the kick away. Price calls for and takes a fair catch at the 48 or 47-yard line of Kecoughtan. So the Phantoms, with a 3-touchdown lead, it will have excellent field position for this next possession. Looking down the schedule remaining for these teams, the Phantoms play at Denby next week, which will be a real tough ball game. As all of you know, Denby upset Bethel last week. Then the Phantoms take on Bethel here at Darling Stadium, a game we will be here to do on November the 6th. And then Phoebus finishes their season on the 13th of November at Lafayette. Phantoms now with a first down at the Kecoughtan 47. Carrington stopped for no loss, almost gets back to the line of scrimmage. An excellent effort.
Losing a couple yards.
Yep.
He's going the wrong direction in his yards.
Kecoughtan, however, now faces Phoebus tonight, of course. Then they're at Ferguson next week. Then they play Menchville and Gloucester, so they don't have nearly as tough a schedule, but with this possible loss tonight, it'll really knock them out of playoff contention.
And what really hurts is if they were in Division 6, where the faculty believes they should be, they would be ranked number 2 in this district in Division 6. So you can see how much stronger Division 5 is than Division 6.
Another loss on the play, the Warrior defense. And boy, I tell you something, you got to take your hat off to Kecoughtan's defense. They have been on the field, and I don't want to belabor this point, but virtually the entire game. And they're still out there struggling, battling, hitting. They just haven't given up, and heavens knows they have every right to have done so.
And they reflect the personality of their coach. Every football team does. Every sports team reflects the personality of their coach. This Kecoughtan team has not quit, as you said. Even though things have not gone well for them tonight, they're not laying down and just rolling over.
Flare pass for Carrington. Carrington again does such a great job of finding his blockers. Flags down on the play, as during that maneuvering, 2 penalty flags were thrown.
Which may very well be a clip, and that's the preliminary signal.
Give me the green captain, please. Green captain. Okay, we have a clip over here. If you take the play, it's going to be 4th and about 4. If you take a penalty, I'll mark about 15 from there. It'll be 3rd and a long way.
Like the 3rd and a long way.
Well,
penalties decline. 4th and...
I'm kind of glad we left referee Dozier's mic open, because that was real interesting as a fan as well as a play-by-play guy. I also enjoy listening to hear what the officials say. And you heard what he told the captain for Kecoughtan.
That was Rocco Brown who he was talking to.
It is 4th down, and the Phantoms will be in deep punt formation. The Warriors not totally buying that concept, but in fact they do kick it away. It takes a Phoebus roll. They don't want it to go into the end zone, and they down it at the 1-foot line.
Wow.
So you don't get any better than that. If it's even a foot to the end zone, it's more like an inch. Oh, you talk about with the shadow of your goalpost to your back. That was a perfect kick by the Phoebus Phantoms' Terrence Dunn. You just don't do better than that.
It's hard to do better than that.
Here's the kick again. He got no pressure, and he just kicked that ball perfectly. Watch this. You'll see how his team got downfield. Ball took a bounce for the Phantoms. They're back to the live action, as the Warriors have to be very mindful of the possibility of a safety at this point.
And there you can see it ball bounced at about the 12.
Yep.
And then ended up on the one foot line.
You're going to try and work your way down to the field, I understand, for some post-game interviews.
I'm going to do that.
Hopefully, T.J. Carrington.
We got 9 minutes to go. We got a couple people. I think we'll probably agree on that particular selection.
I think that'll be an easy choice, Mr. Carrington.
This one's going to be a little tougher.
Yeah. Carrington will be our Phoebus player of the game. Phantom defense should get it as a group for their heart and soul that has been exhibited in this.
Kecoughtan defense.
Did I say Phoebus? I meant Kecoughtan. Only for no other reason, their efforts. And it could have been a lot worse than 21-0. But they have played with great heart tonight and can find some solace in that, although it won't give them much solace. Headed well towards their third defeat of the season. After rolling 3 straight games, Richard Wright just trying to get a little breathing room here. And
trying to get some breathing room for his punter.
Yeah. And now the kicking team will come on. Morocco Brown will have to stand very precariously close to the end line.
Yeah, he cannot step on the end line. If he does, it's an automatic safety. So he's going to be standing real close to it.
7:50 left in the fourth quarter.
Well, he's giving himself about a foot to a foot and a half.
Phantoms put a mild rush on him. They don't even have a man back, does Phoebus, so that turns out to be a good play for Kecoughtan because the ball will roll dead at the Phantom 48. So the Phantoms came with the rush, and again, the Kecoughtan offensive line did a good job of protecting the punter.
They did that.
So a good kick from the end zone. Morocco Brown basically netted about a 50-yard kick because the ball was at the 2, and it ends up at the 48-yard line. Excellent effort by Morocco Brown.
And he took a 1 step and a kick, Tim, not the normal 2 steps that you normally would see to get some power on it, because he knew he had to get it off quick.
Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 7:17 remaining in the fourth quarter. Tim Cole and Bob Hintz coming to you live from Darling Stadium. This is T.J. Carrington. And Carrington gets away from 1 tackler and then gets about 8 yards on the play.
He is hit and picks up 3 or 4 more yards after he's hit.
Number 21, T.J. Carrington, the ball carrier.
As I mentioned, Carrington's best game of the season was a 189-yard effort against Ferguson.
Well, he picked up 9 that time, so that's got to help him some.
Watch the replay. There you saw him. He was dead in his tracks. 45, Javal Allen had him, but couldn't hold on to him.
Well, he ran. He actually put his shoulder into Chip Laws and run him backwards.
This is Dennis. Dennis right up the middle. And he is dragged down inside the 15-yard line. A penalty flag down at the line of scrimmage, however.
Chip Laws again on the tackle, but see, Chip plays your one of your cornerbacks. Looks like it's going to be called back.
Yeah, it is going to be a holding call against the Phantoms. So sometimes that hold will give you a little extra break there.
Well, he shot through the line, but
Holding on the offense, 2nd down.
after he got into the secondary, it was a foot race and almost broke it, but it goes for naught.
There you see in the middle of your picture, Bill D in the blue warm-up suit with the white hat. And Bill has to be very pleased with his team's effort tonight. Halfway through the fourth quarter, Phoebus 21-0. Ron Hill is open, makes the grab at the 20-yard line, down inside the 15. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Phantoms. No penalty flag on the field. I think we're going to go with Chuck Payne for the Phantoms as our Kecoughtan, I get it right yet, our Kecoughtan player of the game. Here's your replay. Edge with a nice toss. Perfect lead for Hill. Hill did a good job of turning around and making the catch.
And we got a flag there. I don't know if that's unsportsmanlike conduct. And I'm not sure what happened. One of the Phoebus Phantoms said something, but Tim, I'm going to shoot on down.
Okay.
See what I can do.
We'll invite our fans to stay tuned. At the conclusion of the ball game, Bob will be down on the field, and we'll hopefully have a chance to talk to TJ Carrington and others from Phoebus, and hopefully a word or two with some of the Kecoughtan word. Bill D is really upset about the call here. He is out talking to Bill Dozier. This is the time I wouldn't mind having the referee mic open also to kind of pick up and get the flavor of what he's saying. But boy, he is livid.
Well, Tim, he just, you don't do something silly after making a great job, but you just don't do anything out there. When you go out there and make yourself heard by the way you play the game. And I'm sure that's why he is upset.
So somebody on his team said or did something that has drawn his ire, and Bill D, generally a rather mild-mannered individual, reading the riot act right now to his team. And they'll remember what he said. 5:35 remains in the fourth quarter. If you joined us late, we're coming to you live from Darling Stadium. The Phoebus Phantoms took the opening kickoff and drove 80 yards, capping that drive with a 1-yard plunge by Torrey Edge for a 7-0 lead. Carrington added a 3-yard touchdown run, his 11th of the season in the second quarter, to make it 14-0. And in the third quarter, Carrington again a 2-yard touchdown run, his 12th of the season. And his team leads 21-0 with 5:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Inside handoff for Ron Hill, and Hill close to the 27-yard line. It'll be second down and about 25 for the Phantoms after the 15-yard personal foul penalty. Five minutes remaining in the ball game. Clock is running. Edge wants to throw. He's got Maury Price, and Price can't hold on to the football. Well covered on the play by Winston Fox of Kecoughtan.
Tim, that was a stop and go. Maury Price ran about 5 steps, stopped. Torrey Edge pump fake. Then Maury Price ran to the end zone. But Winston Fox, as you said, did a great job defensively.
On the replay, you can see the fine coverage by Winston Fox. He had Maury Price covered like a blanket. And it stops the clock with 4:47 remaining. We remind you that there are 2 games here at Darling Stadium Saturday, the 24th of October. A 2 o'clock encounter with the Hampton Crabbers. This is Edge, and Edge still on his feet. He is down inside the 15-yard line. And a 7 o'clock or 7:30 start Saturday night. So 2 high school games this coming Saturday, the 24th of October here at Darling Stadium. Why don't you make plans to come out and watch one of those games? It's supposed to be a nice day tomorrow. Here is Edge rolling and looking downfield. Now he has the pass or run option here. He decides to run the ball. Does a fine job of breaking through 3 would-be Kecoughtan tacklers before finally taken down. To try a 30-yard field goal now, Jeff Herman, and it is a fake. And a touchdown!
What a fine job on the catch by number 89, but we have a penalty on the field.
Downfield against the offense.
So Bill Dozier tells us that ineligible receiver downfield for the offense. And that'll negate the touchdown pass from Edge. So that'll wipe it out.
Ineligible downfield. Replay, 4th down.
So it was a touchdown, but we'll get a chance to watch the replay. And now Phoebus calls a timeout. And Bill D would like to have a word with Bill Dozier again. I guess he'd like to know who was the ineligible receiver that was downfield. There you saw the very end of the play. And Bill not particularly pleased with the officiating tonight. A couple of calls, a call earlier that negated the big play by Steve Dennis. One of the Phoebus coaches up here in the booth was heard to say what a terrible call that was. First, you might have expected he would feel that way. And it looked like for a moment there that Bill might have indicated that's the second one I didn't agree with, but we have no way of knowing exactly what he might have said.
Well, he didn't like the call. He didn't, because that was a call play. Defense, offensive line should not have been downfield.
Herman's try from the 24-yard line, which makes it a 34-yard field goal, is good. So he has his 5th field goal of the season. So the Phantoms add to their total now, and they lead 24-0. The 34-yard field goal by Jeff Herman was good and long. It could have been from another 10 yards further back. There you see the spot of the 24. Plenty of distance on that kick. So the Phantoms leading by 24-0. Same play as they have used on several occasions. Steve Stern has fielded 3 fair catch kickoffs, almost in the identical spot each time. So the Warriors trailing by 24 with 3:47 remaining in the 4th quarter. They'll start from their 37-yard line. We hope you've enjoyed our live coverage tonight of the Kecoughtan Warriors and the Phoebus Phantoms. Again, we want to thank the folks over at Hampton University and Warner Cable for all of their help and cooperation in being able to bring this game to you live. Richard Wright at quarter. Check that. Chip Laws at quarterback. Flags fly on the snap of the ball. Now Chip Laws threw one pass.
Procedure. 6 men on the line, replay, 2nd down.
Threw one pass in the very first game of the season. That was a halfback option, I believe, but this time Laws is at quarterback.
Legal procedure, 6 on the line, 1st down.
So you heard Bill Dozier, the referee, tell you the infraction. And Chip Laws remains at quarterback. He would be the 3rd string quarterback. The Warriors already having lost to injury Devin Roberts. This is a quarterback draw, and Chip Laws is hit hard at the original line of scrimmage. So he got back the 5 that he had lost on the previous penalty. Clock moving with 3:08 left in the ball game. As we mentioned, Kecoughtan's next opponent will be at Ferguson next Friday night, and Phoebus Saturday will take on the Denby Patriots. Laws fumbles the ball after the exchange from center and falls on the ball. for a 2-yard loss.
Hey, Tim.
Yes, Bob.
It's a little chillier down there than it is up down here than it is up there. But this field has got a lot of water on it from the condensation, and that ball is getting kind of slippery if you don't wipe it off. So, all fairness to Chip Laws, it's not easy to hang on to the ball.
3rd down and about 12, and the pass is incomplete, intended for Joe Garrett, who made a nice catch earlier in the second half. This time can't make the grab, and it'll bring up a 4th down for the Warriors. And again, our congratulations and our kudos to Larry Malloy for his efforts and his crew here at Darling Stadium for their usual and always superb condition of the field. Morocco Brown back in deep punt formation for Kecoughtan, and gets some pressure, gets the kick away. And again, a Kecoughtan roll with no Phoebus deep man. And with less than 2 minutes to go, the game virtually in the bag for the Phoebus Phantoms. So our players of the game tonight for Phoebus, TJ Carrington. With 174 net yards tonight. And our player of the game for Kecoughtan is Chuck Payne for his superb effort on defense. And our hats off to the Kecoughtan Warriors on defense. They certainly had their hands full with this Phoebus attack. Phoebus with a date 2 weeks from tonight against the Bethel Bruins. That could be a battle for the remaining playoff spot in Division 5 from the Peninsula District. A lot of things can happen between now and then, of course. Hampton has that big battle with Bethel High School on the last game of the season. 1 minute remaining, and the Phantoms now just content to run out the clock. Phoebus has Kecoughtan has 2 timeouts remaining, but I would be amazed if they were to take them. They would just as soon get this game behind them at this point. So our congratulations to Bill D and his staff at Phoebus High School as they will improve their record to 6-1 overall and 5-1 in the Peninsula District. And like I said, that one lone defeat at the hands of the Hampton Crabbers, the only blemish on the record for the Phantoms. Now a penalty flag. Delay of the game against the Phantoms. They don't care. They'll take the delay with 26 seconds to go. They'll take one more snap, and this game will be in the record books.
Penalty on the play against the Phantoms for delay of game.
So again, we invite you to stay tuned. Immediately concluding the ball game, as Bob will try and catch up with various players from both squads if possible. Chuck Payne, a player of the game from Kecoughtan. TJ Carrington, the player of the game from Phoebus. And the Phantoms now just simply take the final snap. And that will do it for this ball game. We remind you, the next game here we'll have for you on Channel 5 will be the Phoebus Bethel game here on the 6th of November from Darling Stadium. And then our regular season will wrap up with the Hampton Bethel game here on the 14th. Both teams make their way across the field to congratulate each other. Bill D and Kurt Newsom meeting at the center of the field and exchanging congratulations.
He's so mad. He won't even look at me.
Go ahead, Bob.
Tim, I've got Torrey Edge here. Torrey, you guys came out and just dominated the line of scrimmage.
It's the offensive line. The offensive line. They blew them off the ball 4 quarters. And our defense played the best game I've seen in a couple of years.
Well, I thought a big break came when they roughed the kicker, and from then on, you guys just picked it up and went from there.
Yes, sir. That was the turning point of the game. Our defense did a good job holding them. We started out slow on offense, but then our line just did what they had to do, and we owe it all to them. Rushing-wise, they did a great job. My defense did the best. They were just the best. Defense wins championships.
I tell you, you guys got a lot to be proud of. That was a great game tonight. Congratulations. Okay, Torrey. Tim, let's run back up to you, and I'll try to get him one of the other players.
All right, TJ is right next to you there.
I got the big man here.
The kids are the big people.
Well, I tell you what, they did a job on that offensive line.
They came to play tonight, and defense played tremendously. That's a good offensive football team. That's a good football team, period.
I know it.
And our kids just came together and played 4 quarters tonight. I'm real pleased. You know, we still had some mistakes and so forth, but you know, I was real pleased with the efforts for 4 quarters. That's what we talked about.
Okay, I want to ask you a question about Steve Dennis. He carried the ball tonight just about as many times he carried it all season.
Well, Steve's been a little hampered by an injury, and the last couple of weeks, you know, he just couldn't get it going. But today he came out, and I'll tell you what, he ran possessed. I mean, he played, you know, inside. That's what opened up. We had inside, outside, and you know, they did a good job, I think, taking edge out of the ball, you know, out. But you know, then they let, you know, he came through and did a great job for us. That's why it's a team. You know, you got to take what they're giving you.
Well, and then your defense turned around and did just a great job of shutting down a team that runs the ball well.
Yeah, they sure did. We got a little lucky. They had a pass down there that they missed on, but overall it was a great effort. And you know, Coach Newsom's team, you know, you know, they did a good job. We just happened to, you know, we played consistently for a change tonight. I wish them luck the rest of the season. And you know, we still got a couple tough games left. You know, it's not going to get any easier, but the kids played hard, and that's what I'm looking for.
Well, this is a way to build on it.
Yeah,
Bill.
yeah. It was a great effort.
Well, congratulations on a fine effort tonight. It was great. We finally got live second quarter. So.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, you know, you're like us. You're still making mistakes. We'll get better.
Okay,
thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Okay, very good. I've got Steve Dennis here, Tim. Steve, you carried the ball as many times tonight as you have all year long because of some injuries, but you really ran the ball well.
Yes, I felt that I was healthy and I'm back now. So everybody watch out, because I'm back now.
Well, you got to take your hats off to your offensive line. They did a good job for
They
you.
did an excellent job. They always do an excellent job. They always have their heads in the game. They always block to their fullest to win.
Well, I saw you one time you had to go off on defense. Would you just pull the muscle or?
No, my shoulder came out.
Okay.
And then when I walked off the field, it just popped back in. And I was like, okay, I'm going back in the game.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations on a fine game.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Let me talk to my man, TJ. TJ, I appreciate you talking to me the other day.
Bob?
Just had a great, go ahead, Tim.
I'd like to interrupt you, Bob, just for TJ's information. 28 carries, 174 yards tonight, 6.2 average per carry.
178 yards tonight. Fantastic.
Couldn't do it without my blocking.
That's true.
All I could say. They gave me good blocking, and hose was this big. Anybody could have ran 178
Well,
yards.
anybody but Tim. Tim would have had trouble getting through those lines. But after you got through, I mean, they opened up the lines, but after you got through, you made some good moves.
Well, it wasn't majority I made good moves. It was just the ground was wet, and I was keeping my composure whenever I make a move. They was just slipping. That's all it was. They were slipping.
Well, listen, you may be humble, but you're great. You had a great game tonight. You are a player of the game.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll have a plaque and a shirt for you.
Thank you.
Okay, congratulations and good luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Okay, Tim, let's run back up to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. And again, our congratulations to TJ for his Player of the Game award. And certainly to Bill D for improving their record to 6-1. Real quickly, some individual statistics. Carrington, as I mentioned, with 174 yards unofficially. Dennis with 42. Dennis, by the way, had 131 yards in the game opener against Princess Anne. Hill with 32 yards on 6 carries. Edge 21 yards on 13 carries. Total of 269 yards rushing for the Phantoms, and only 23 yards net for the Kecoughtan Warriors. So as you so aptly alluded to, Bob, the Warriors just never got their offense going. the Kecoughtan team couldn't get untracked, while the Phoebus Phantom defense had a lot to do with that. And of course, when you control the ball like Bill D's team did, you don't allow the other team to score against you. They don't have the ball, they can't do much with it. So the total overall effort by the Phantoms tonight, the big difference in this ball game, as they prevail 24-0 over a very good Kecoughtan team. Our congratulations to Bill D for the victory. And they have, as you heard him say, a couple of tough games remaining in the season. The final score again, the Phoebus Phantoms 24, the Kecoughtan Warriors nothing. For Bob Hintz, this is Tim Cole and the entire crew. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.